Imagine this: three orphaned tiger cubs left to fend for themselves in the wild. Discover the heartwarming tale of how dedicated forest rangers and conservationists nurtured these cubs, offering hope for the survival of this endangered species. A new challenge. Deep in the heart of the forest, a tragedy unfolded as fate dealt a cruel blow to a majestic tigress. Forest rangers on their daily travels stumbled upon a heart-wrenching sight: a lifeless tigress, leaving behind three helpless cubs. Their world shattered, the cubs faced an uncertain future. Raising wild tiger cubs is no ordinary feat. The team at the rescue center faced a daunting task as they took on the role of surrogate parents. These cubs required constant attention, nurturing, and a closely monitored environment to thrive. Mimicking the care of a tigress, the conservationists meticulously prepared a specialized formula that provided the cubs with essential nutrients. The goal was to ensure the cubs grew strong and healthy, ready to face the challenges of their natural habitat once they were old enough to be released. As days turned into weeks, the bond between the caregivers and the cubs deepened. The forest rangers devoted their time and love, working tirelessly to offer these orphaned cubs a second chance at life in the wild. The bond formed. Through tireless efforts, the forest rangers and the tiger cubs forged a unique bond. As the cubs grew, they became more trusting of their caregivers, responding playfully to their presence. The rangers observed the cubs' behaviors closely, learning to understand their needs and emotions. The cubs, in turn, seemed to recognize the compassion and care they were receiving, responding with affectionate gestures towards their human caregivers. Despite the occasional challenges and setbacks, the bond between the cubs and their caretakers became a beacon of hope for everyone involved. These once orphaned cubs now had a new family, and their chances of survival improved with each passing day. Lessons from the wild. As the cubs continued to grow, the conservationists realized the importance of introducing them to the ways of the wild. They designed an environment that mimicked the conditions of the forest, allowing the cubs to develop essential survival skills. In this semi-wild enclosure, the cubs learned to hunt, stalk, and explore their surroundings. The conservationists employed techniques to avoid human imprinting, ensuring the cubs retained their natural instincts. This process was critical to prepare the cubs for their eventual release back into the wild. The conservationists knew that they needed to minimize the cubs' dependence on human interaction to ensure their successful integration into their natural habitat. Gradual steps towards freedom. As the cubs matured, the time for their release drew closer. However, the conservationists knew that releasing them too soon could be disastrous. They opted for a gradual approach, where the cubs' enclosure was expanded over time, allowing them to explore new territories. The cubs' progress was closely monitored, and the conservationists kept a watchful eye from a distance. The cubs displayed increasing confidence and independence, signs that they were adapting well to the challenges of the wild. With each successful step, hope soared that these once orphaned cubs would thrive in their natural habitat, becoming symbols of hope for their species, a future in the wild. The day finally arrived when the tiger cubs were deemed ready for their ultimate test: a return to the wild. The conservationists prepared for the momentous event, knowing that it marked the pinnacle of their journey together. In a heartwarming scene, the enclosure gates swung open, and the cubs hesitated for a moment before venturing into the dense forest. The conservationists watched with bated breath, hoping that their efforts would pay off. Months later, sightings of the cubs in their natural habitat brought joy to the hearts of all involved. The orphaned tiger cubs had become a symbol of resilience and hope for the entire community, highlighting the importance of conservation efforts and the ability to give endangered species a fighting chance. In conclusion, the inspiring tale of the orphaned tiger cubs from India's Pench Tiger Reserve showcases the resilience of these majestic creatures and the unwavering dedication of the forest rangers and conservationists. Through their combined efforts, the cubs were given a second chance at life in the wild, offering hope for the future of their endangered species. Their story serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of conservation and the impact of human compassion on wildlife preservation.